It's home to the Alamo and the Spurs, San Antonio, Texas, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the AT&T Center. For the Magic, this is the last game before heading back to Florida and Orlando. They're still compensating for the loss of Manu Ginobili.
Kevin, so far they've been...
Let's go, you're up.
My time.
Here's Payton. 14 points from him the last game against Oklahoma City.
Well, for Tim Duncan and the Spurs, an incredible legacy of dominance. In his 17 years in the league, the Spurs have never won less than 61% of their games. Not to mention, of course, 5 finals appearances and 4 NBA championships.
And so in the game for the Magic, Ryan Vucevic are the power forward and center. Fournier and Harris filling out the perimeter. And it's Payton in at the 1. And the Spurs have done an amazing job for the years surrounding Duncan with the right kind of talent.
And Tim Duncan has done a great job leading and making adjustments in his own game. They're a team with great scouting and development of their players. You talk to players who've been there. That's one of the things they rave about, Kevin, is they get the attention for their individual development. And all of their players were not lottery picks. Most of them were mid, late, first-round picks, some second-round guys. And it's just another example of doing it the right way at the highest level.
Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Taking a look at Cleveland. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And, of course, Orlando. Just need to take it a game at a time.
Checking out Orlando, they've just got to learn a few lessons from what they're going through this year. I mean, to use that experience to make sure that they grow from it.
Well, you always want to be getting better, Clark. So I like what you're talking about. I mean, sometimes you can learn from adversity, learn from your mistakes. That's what this club has to do from here on out.
Assisted by Ben Gordon.
There's a minute 34 left to play here in the first. Outside, Green. Here's Mills, covered by Payton. Shot's good by Mills. Mills has got his first points of the night.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Payton outside. Kicks it out to Gordon. There's the 3. No good.
Nice early advantage for them on the glass, guys.
You know, part of rebounding well early is just going after the ball and boxing out. I mean, establishing that tone so that you can maintain it later in the game.
The pass to Mr. Perfect. And yes, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Mr. Perfect's got his second basket of the night. San Antonio's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. There's the dish to Green. For 3, and he gets the bucket.
Danny Green.
Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the Clippers.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be much of a challenge for them in that game. It seemed like they scored at will. Not much defense that they were facing.
Yep, they had the defense on its heels early the entire game, and actually nearly the entire game, and no matter what unit was out there, looked like a mismatch to me.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. It's the Spurs up 3. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Friday, February 6th.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And before we move on, Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Duncan. Leonard, he's checked in for Joseph. It's Mills in for Tony Parker. On the court for Orlando, Nicholson is the 4 with Vucevic at the 5. Mr. Perfect out there with Payton, and it's Fournier in at the 3 spot. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Teardrop shot. Shot's good by Mills. And the Spurs lead by 2.
Greg Popovich with 15 straight 50-win seasons as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. What a remarkable streak of success. And I don't really think folks understand what that level of consistency embodies. He's widely regarded as the best head coach in the NBA, and for good reason. He's the full package as a head coach.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, for some, Aaron Gordon is seen as a tweener. And for Gordon, it isn't going to faze him. He said, obviously, you have to play a position in the NBA, but I'm going to do a little bit of everything. Post up, hit jumpers, go by people. I'm going to do it all. I'm confident that I can play both the 3 and the 4. He has the skills to pull it off, Kevin.
And he does. Thank you, Doris. Popovich in the top 5 in coaching win percentage all time.
And he's likely to remain in that lofty company. Kevin, he said he plans to follow Tim Duncan into retirement. Not a bad plan. They pretty much came in together, so might as well go out together.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Mr. Perfect. He tries for 3. Green with the rebound. Now Mills. Right now averaging 7 points a game. It's tipped. Here's Mr. Perfect. Can't get it to go. Second.
Well, Tim, in looking at that first half,
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime.
All right, you're up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Green in for Bellinelli. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Vucevic. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Channing Frye. Ben Gordon's checked in for Evan Fournier. And Willie Green is subbed in for Peyton. Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. Leonard and Duncan are the pair at forward. And it's Diaw in at the 5 down low. That's the San Antonio 5. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
Well, some nights Kawhi Leonard will give you 20 points, some nights he'll give you 6, but he always keeps his focus on the defensive end of the court where he's become the Spurs' designated stopper.
The Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Andrew Nicholson is checked in for Orlando. Mr. Perfect comes in for Harris. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
yes, over the break, I listened in on Jacques Vaughn's huddle. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Green. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the 4th quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Nicholson. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Nicholson's got his first basket. Spurs leading by 8. Kicks it to Leonard. Diaw, the screen. Rebound by Ben Gordon. Gordon's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And Kawhi Leonard possessing a range 7'4" arm span.
Not to mention those gigantic mitts of his. I mean, those are almost 12 inches across, Kevin, and he knows how to use them. It's not just that he's long and he's got big hands. This kid showed an aggressiveness and a confidence in the NBA Finals last season that really, really was impressive.
Good comment. Here's Mr. Perfect. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Mills with it. And it's Gordon picking him up. Mills passes to Duncan. Gets a very good look and converts. Duncan's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs.
Well, this is what he does. He's shooting it well. He's scoring a lot of their points, getting them in front.
Passes it to Mr. Perfect. He feeds it to O'Quinn. Here's Mr. Perfect. Not really his range, and it's off target.
Not a good look at the hoop. They've got to do a better job offensively creating some space.
And that one's good. And it's a 12-point Spurs lead.
Great looking bounce pass to set up that play.
And here's Gordon. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Now the pass to Mr. Perfect. From deep 3-point range, and the miss. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's and a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the finish, guys, this is where you know you are right on the money.
Substitute.
It's go time. Check in.
Joseph comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And a switcher also for Orlando. Gordon's checked in, so on the floor for Orlando. Ryan Vucevic are the power forward and center. Payton is out there with Gordon, and it's Harris in at the small forward position. Gordon kicks to Vucevic, and there's the rejection. Out of bounds. Ball as Orlando keeps possession. A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner comes in for Boris Diaw, and it's Mills in for Tony Parker. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Vucevic. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Channing Frye. Willie Green's checked in for Harris. And it's Mr. Perfect in for Payton.
Been a rough shooting night for him, but I don't mind that shot. He had a good look at it.
Joseph with the ball.
Hey guys, the league has taken some steps to pick up the pace of the game. Over the last decade, we've seen a lot of rule changes with hand checks and zone defenses, and tightening up flagrant foul rules and physical play in general. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, dominating performance for San Antonio.
But Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out Clark this kind of punishment to
Well,
him.
you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
And I think this win builds confidence for this year in the matchup. They take the first win of the season series, and you know that could play a factor the next time these two teams meet.
And that next meeting will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. So I think the next game will be hotly contested.
He kicks to Mills. 6 on the shot clock. Fires from the line. Here's Green. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Magic ball.
A different look now for San Antonio. Boris Diaw's checked in for Duncan. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. And a change for the Magic. Harkless is checked in for Gordon. 18 feet out. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And here's Mills. And there's the call on Mr. Perfect. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. 14 foul.
Now here's Joseph. And so it's Sennett.
Yes, guys, I'm here.
Hope some satellites went out tonight, because I hate to think somebody actually saw that performance.
Yeah, man, we was pretty bad. We couldn't hit a thing. We'll get them next game.
We got to do better than that. I say we hit the gym right now and get some reps.